welcome to our Chinese course. This is Sophie. And here we are going to start the very first part of our course, the Chinese Phonetics. Now before we start, let me ask you a question. Do you think Chinese is difficult to learn? I think most of you would say yes. And the reason why so many people would think that Chinese is too difficult to learn is that this is such a different language. We know the Chinese words, the Chinese characters are a form of ideogram. So when you see Chinese, it's ideographic instead of alphabetic, such as English. So the first time when you see the Chinese characters with so many strokes and so many different ways of combination, it can be overwhelming. But don't worry, if you have a good guide that can go through all this step by step with you, it can actually be easy and fun. So are you ready to start this journey together? For today, the first part, the Chinese phonetics. We should check the structure. So you can see from now on, you will always see two parts. First part, the pinyin. And second part, the character. Now let's see. The pinyin have three parts: initial, final, and tone. And second part is the Chinese character. But keep one thing in your mind. This is Chinese, the target language. And the pinyin here is a tool that we borrowed from English with the alphabets that to help you to pronounce it. But this is not a language. Don't be rely on this too much. We are going to spend a lot of time focused on here, the characters, okay? Now for the phonetics, let's check the pinyin. First part, the tone. In Chinese, we have 4 tones. We can check here. Here are the marks. You have to remember that Chinese is a tonal language in which the tones convey differences in meaning. So you have to make sure that you get the tones right and clear. Now with these 4 tones, let's go through it. First tone, you can see the mark. It's a flat one. For example, we can use a tone ah. And second, you can see the face here. And so when you are confusing, you want to ask a question, you would raise your tone. So this is very similar. You raise your tone, goes up, ah. And third tone, this is special. You can see it's long, goes down and goes up. Ah. And fourth tone, you can tell from here, it looks you are angry. Your tone goes downwards, no. Right? So the fourth tone, ah. You have to practice on this a lot to get used to it. And to make this more clear, let's check the picture here. This map shows the change of our 4 tones. You can see that's how we write it. First tone, we have this number here. So you can see first tone, it's high and flat. Ah. Second tone, you see we can start a little bit lower but goes up. Ah. And third tone, you see even lower, and there's a twist. You go down and raise it. Ah. This is the longest one. And last one, start high and goes downwards. Fourth tone, ah, ah. With all these tones in Chinese, it's actually not just a joke. When people say the first time you hear Chinese, it feels like they are singing. Because that makes sense, right? You see, with the tones and rhythms, this is such a beautiful language. And that's the tones, and let's move on. We have another two parts for the pinyin, the initials and finals. You can see here this picture, all the phonetic alphabets. They're all looking very familiar, right? Because those alphabets, we are borrowed this from the English. Some of them are very close, but some are not. So here, first the part, the initials, actually we have 21 initials. The last two here are special. We are going to get back to here later. And we have 24 finals. For the first part today, we are going to get the first line here, 8 initials, and here the finals, 6 key finals. The basic one here, that'll be enough. Now let's see, 6 key finals. Can you try to pronounce it? First one, ah, ah, o, o. Third one, this one, It's different, right? This is not the letter E anymore. In Chinese Pinyin, it's You can memorize it like this. When you are hesitating, when you are thinking about something, you would say, no, I don't speak Chinese. That's very close to this one. Next one. E, U, U. Last one, you can see it's the U with extra dots on top of it. This is U, U. It's the combination of E and U together. When you pronounce it, make sure that your lips are getting really round together. U, U. Let's go through all this one more time. Ah, o, I, U, U. And we can add the 4 tones on it. Ah. Second tone, ah. Third tone, ah. Ah. Second one, o, 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 o. Third one, follow me. I, 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 U. First tone, u, 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 u. That's the one, yu, 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 yu. And you can see these 6 finals, a, o, e, u, yu. Can you sense that the shape of your mouth is actually getting smaller and smaller with the a wide open, a smaller, o, and to the side, e, and then around your lips, o, even smaller, u, getting more tired and more intense. That means you get it right. The initials, we have these 8 initials. First one, po, po, mo, po. Second group here, de, te, ne, le. It's easy, right? Now, the first group was po, po, mo, fo. Putting them together, pa, pa, ma, fa, wo, po, mo, fo, ma. All these blanks, it means there's no Chinese character pronounced as b, p, f. So that's why we don't need the pinyin. Here, b, p, mi, bu, pu, mu, fu. Adding the tone marks. First one, ba. First tone, ba. And second one, without tone, it's the neutral one, so it's much more lighter and shorter. Baba. Baba. It means dad, father in Chinese. The next one, first tone, ma, ma. Mama. Mama means mom, mother. Mama. Baba. And let's check more combinations. Bu. Bu. Bu in Chinese, it means the no, negative from no, not. Bu. How about this? La. La. La means the flavor, spicy, hot. La. So that's the first part for today, and we have got the 4 tones, 6 finals, and 8 initials in Chinese Pinyin. I'll see you in next video. Goodbye. 再见。